Well, howdy folks, and welcome to this episode of Vern's Misadventures. And this one we're going to be continuing with our iMoo build, which of course is a gateway all-in-one that we have installed Pearl upon. And we're going to be giving the iMoo basically what everybody and everything desires. A place to belong and a purpose. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's begin the story with our case for why we would need to do something in the first place. So this is my wife's workstation. Her desk as it is, you know. It's got the red hutch and white accents and all the good stuff. There's the Lucy box down there on the floor. And, you know, anyway, this is her desk. So over here we see we've got the MacBook Air in the pink skin that we got for it, right? Yeah, it's pink plastic case. I don't know if you'd call it a skin, but I digress. Then we've got a Dell monitor on the desktop. I picked up this gaming keyboard mainly because it would light up red and kind of match the desk. Not because she's a gamer, which she is not. So yeah, this is a CM Storm Quickfire, like Cooler Master. And of course it's got the matching mouse. Oh, I suppose this setup here has served us pretty well up to this point. So the issue that we have here is my wife has expressed interest in maybe connecting a second monitor to the MacBook so that she could basically read a document and type a document at the same time. Obviously this Dell monitor is not going to allow that. It doesn't have, I think all it has is VGA and possibly DVI inputs, similar to my monitors I have on my desk. What's really cool about the iMoo is that it actually has, here, let me move this aside and I'll bring it over. So the iMoo is an all-in-one computer. It also has an HDMI pass-through right here. And what that will allow us to do is to basically set up a workstation where we could basically have three computers over here. Three possibilities for computers to be used anyway. We'll have the Lucy box on the floor still, and that runs Windows. We have the iMoo, which is going to either be able to be used as a all-in-one computer running Pearl Linux, or as a monitor for either the Lucy box or the MacBook. So our plan here is going to require a little bit of hardware. So let's go ahead. Let's set this down where it's safe. So I got some deliveries today from Amazon. Let's go ahead and see what they sent us. Apparently this box is unrelated. Look at here. While I was doing my Amazon shopping, I found this I Love Lucy steering wheel cover, and Anita had to have it. I don't know if it's going to fit the Fusion or not. But anyway, that's unrelated. So what's in the other box? Well, let's see what's in this box. This might be a little more pertinent. Ooh, careful, careful, careful! Alright, let's see what's in there. Alright, so we have here two 6-foot high-speed HDMI cables. We have a USB-C to HDMI cable. Now that will be to connect the MacBook. What is this? Okay. This, let me see here. Let me get it open. Now that is a little switch that can take two HDMI inputs, right? And it has one output. And so what that allows us to do is to switch between two computers, inputting into the iMoo to use it as a monitor. And then obviously when you're going to use the iMoo for its own computer, well, that would be a different mode, and it would just, you just turn on the iMoo. So that should do that. Now over here we have a USB switch, and this will be so that we can connect our keyboard and mouse. Now, I might have been able to do this with a KVM, but I wasn't able to find a KVM that had the features I was looking for. I looked a little bit. Some of them were pretty expensive. They had a lot of features I didn't need to pay for. Now, I actually bought a KVM switch during the mining fiasco, but it used a hotkey on the keyboard, and I didn't want any part of that because it wouldn't work with a wireless keyboard and mouse. Okay, so what this here is, it's got this little button here so you can switch between inputs, right? And basically what we'll do is we'll put the dongle for our wireless keyboard and mouse on this end, and we will plug these USB cables into the 3 corresponding computers. So probably go from left to right, so we'll put the number 1 as the MacBook Air, 2 could be the iMoo, and 3 could be the Lucy box. Just kind of so it makes some kind of sense and you can remember which is which. So that's our plan for today's project, is we're going to basically set this up to where we can have 1 keyboard and mouse control any of 3 computers, and we're going to have the iMoo serve as a monitor for the other 2 and as a standalone computer for the Pearl operating system. So I guess the only thing left to show now is the keyboard and mouse that we got. So this wasn't my first choice. I wanted to find something that had a black and white theme, and I found one and I ordered it, but it wasn't going to show up here until August or something. So I promptly canceled that order and I ordered this one instead. But I think this one's pretty cool, and it's going to go great. Well, it's got black and white to match our iMoo cow theme. It's got black and white keys, right? And then it's got the pink, well, because this is Anita's workstation, for one. And for another, it's gonna do a pretty nice job of matching the little cover that we have on the MacBook. See? What is this? Oh. Okay. Of course. Oh, it looks like it has a charger for the key for the mouse. I don't know. But at any rate, it's pretty good looking, and it definitely follows our wannabe iMac theme, I think, nicely with the keyboard and the mouse. And what's really cool is once we're putting the MacBook Air and using the iMoo as a monitor in that case, well, it will actually be displaying Mac OS. Our wannabe iMac project is going to actually serve a real purpose and solve some real problems. So you gotta love it when that happens. So I guess to get started, we need to get all this stuff off the desk, don't we? And the monitor's got to go. The keyboard and mouse have to go as well. All right, here's my universal power supply. We're gonna be using that for the next week or 2 while we wait for the official one to come in. That will get connected like so, and then we can send this on down the hole, I guess. We'll do it a little prettier when we get to the actual one we're going to use. This is just temporary. This is pretty nice cables. At least they look nice. So that will be the one that actually goes in there. This end will go into our switch. So this one will go down the hole to the Lucy box, and it will come up and go in the switch. So that's going to be in the output, and this will be one of the inputs. Looking at our switch here, right? We got our 2 inputs and our 1 output. And so the output one will definitely go here, where it outputs to the iMoo for the HDMI pass-through. And then the other, this one here that's going to go down the Lucy box, that will go to number 2. Right. And this would be our USB switch here. Let's get that all unwrapped. The idea, of course, was to put the dongle in here for the keyboard. I see. Yeah, we got 5 wires coming out of this thing here. We're only going to use 3 computers. So we'll leave number 4 unhooked. And of course the 5th wire is the switch. Let's go ahead and bundle up number 4 right now. Twist that up a little bit, be fine. Number 1 will go to the MacBook. Number 2, of course, will go to the iMoo. So we'll plug that in over here. Plug that in right there. There we go. And then 1 will go down through the hole to the Lucy box. Let's go ahead and get the iMoo turned. Move around here. Okay, so yeah, 3rd one goes down the hole to the Lucy box. So we'll get this one opened up. Alright, so going back to our keyboard there, it looks like it's rechargeable. They both have ports on them. It's got this little rubber keyboard cover. We'll just leave that on there. Alright, so what we're going to have to do next is we're going to have to plug this into something to charge. Yeah. So that's going to charge the mouse, and then I guess after that we'll charge the keyboard. Alright, we got the instructions here. Here we go. So yeah, as you turn on your computer and then you turn on your mouse. So they don't have any charge from the factory, I wonder. Let me get under here and make my connections, and we'll see what we can do with all this. Turn the mouse on. It says turn the computer on first. Here's a pencil. So I guess that's on now. I see pearl lighting up. Put the dongle in here. Switch. Okay, yeah, that's on 2 now. So it self-switches. Looks like the USB self-switches according to whichever computer's powered up. And that'll be very helpful. Yep. Okay, put this in here. So we can turn this one. Yeah, it's got a little bit of charge. Alright, save for everything being in complete disarray. Yeah, I mean the mouse is working. Alright, well we're here 1 day later. And here's what has changed since we last showed anything. I've updated the MacBook Air to Mac OS Catalina, which is the latest version. She was still running Sierra on this thing. I was 3 versions behind. I think it was time to get it caught up. And then today we have a package that came, and this should be our adapter we need for the MacBook. Let's see what they sent us. Okay, now what happens? Woohoo! Here we go. That looks official. So this is supposed to be a Thunderbolt mini HDMI port to a regular HDMI port. So let's see if this is even going to work. So that port would be right here on the MacBook. Let's see if we can in any way, shape, or form figure this out. I've already got the mouse and keyboard connected here, so maybe it goes the other way. Well, it fits in the hole. If it fits, it ships. No, that's something else. Okay, so now we need a HDMI cable, which I have. I managed to find that I had tucked away in my closet here. An HDMI cable, how about that? So, let's see. That's going to plug in right here. And the other end, we'll go over here on the other side of the iMoo. Can go around back. Alright. So, that's connected, but not selected. So if we press this button right here to switch it over to the Mac, what happened? There we go. And there you have it. So we got an extended desktop. Oh, okay. And then we have our USB switch here. So we will switch that to the first one right there. Alright. If you look over here, maybe you can see that move, maybe not, I don't think so. But if we move it, see that it extends right over here to the iMoo screen. And so now we have the ability to have two monitors for the MacBook Air. So there we have it. If we just mouse down here, that brings the dock over. How about that? So now we legitimately have, on the monitor anyway, Mac OS Catalina. Let me show you here. How about this Mac? There it is. Zoom in. So that's pretty dang cool if you ask me. Yeah, we can close that. That is awesome, man. So if we turn on the Lucy box over here, and then all we have to do is we switch to computer number 3, and it skipped number 2 because it's not running right now. Currently I have the iMoo turned off, right? So if we switch over on our HDMI, and there's Windows 10 getting started, and that's off of the Lucy box. Right. Alright, and for our last trick, we will show that we can also run the iMoo if we don't blow the breaker for having too many computers running at once, but we should be okay. And so, as soon as I turned on the computer for the iMoo, it went back to PC mode, and then of course as soon as we turned on the iMoo, the USB switch already just automatically switched over, so I didn't have to push any buttons. But now the keyboard and mouse are controlling the iMoo, which is pretty cool. So we have one keyboard, one mouse, and one screen that can be used on 3 different computers. And I would say that is a legitimate purpose for a computer that was left for dead, basically. So anyway, to use any of the other computers, we would probably just have to, we could probably just like suspend. As soon as we suspend, it should go back into HDMI mode, I think. Yep, sure enough. Look at that. And then we got to switch away from the iMoo or it'll take back over. Okay. So there is the dongle connecting to Windows. That's what that sound was, right? And all the fun stuff. Then if we want to switch back to the Mac, you can just click the button over here. Click the button over here till it goes to slot number 1, right? And then we can switch the video with this one. And if you look over here, there's the Mac. Way more useful than it used to be. So right now, as it stands, it still has Mac on there. And we just press the power button, and what happens then? Now it's back to PC mode. Yeah, okay, there we go. iMoo's back up. Fancy with a capital C here. Hey, I think with that we're going to close this video out. So it's pretty neat. I think I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out, except for, of course, the cable management. It's a nightmare, but I'll get that straightened out. Pretty darn cool. And with that, I think I'm going to close the video out. If you're already a subscriber, I'd like to thank you for hanging around. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel. And with that, y'all take care.